Hello everyone, I'm Landry Roberts. On this week's edition of the Birmingham-Southern Football Review, we'll break down last week's game versus Sewanee, sit down and talk with head coach Eddie Garfinkel, and take a look ahead to the game next week versus Millsaps. We'll have all the highlights, player interviews, and much more. All of that comes your way next, right here on the Birmingham-Southern Football Review. This is the BSC Football Review with head coach Eddie Garfinkel. An inside look at Birmingham-Southern football. Brought to you by Pepsi, always refreshing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. When your health care is protected, you can focus on being you. The Greater Birmingham Convention and Visitors Bureau. Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. Express Oil Change and Service Center. Turn to us. America's First Federal Credit Union. Refreshingly unbank-like. Southeast Urgent Care at Fultondale, providing healthcare needs for BSC athletes. Tire Engineers. If we don't take care of our customers, someone else will. St. Vincent Sports Medicine, taking care of the healthcare needs of BSC athletics. Alabama Power, always on. And by Limbaugh Toyota, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Welcome back to the BSC Football Review. Landry Roberts along with BSC head coach Eddie Garfinkel. Coach, get back into conference play this past weekend. Head up to Sewanee, Tennessee to take on the Tigers in-conference foe. Looked really good there in the first half. Offense came out, played well defensively. Very sound football there in the first half. Yeah,
I tell you what, we had a good week of preparation, and you can tell our guys got ready to play. We drove up there Saturday morning and got off the bus and started out pretty good, and you go in with a 19-point lead at halftime. You feel pretty good about it. Kind of disappointed in our punting game. We had a block punt. We didn't execute there a couple weeks in a row. We tried to get those things corrected, but it felt like we were executing our game plan pretty well.
Of course, with Joseph Moultrie out, Isaac Nichols has stepped up at tailback. He gets in for a 12-yard touchdown there in the first half.
Right. Isaac has done some good things, and of course. Our offense is not quite the same without Joe Moultrie, but we're having to do some different things with our offense because of the absence of Joe. But Isaac's done some good things, and the big thing was our defense was able to control the wishbone, and we put in a scheme that we've been working on. Our guys are executing, so again, everything was going as planned.
Coach freshman Samir Usman had 2 touchdowns there in the first half as well.
Yeah, Samir's done a good job. Ever since the injury with Joe Moultrie, it's been kind of tailback by committee, and Samir has been was injured earlier in camp and has gotten well, and we feel like he's going to be a really good tailback one day. He's just a freshman. And but he and Tedre Williams and Isaac Nichols are kind of trying to take the place of Joe right now.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the second half. Birmingham-Southern takes a 21-2 lead into intermission. The BSC Football Review comes back right after this.
Just those number 2 Brazilian, tackled by number 22, number 4.
Embrace your past, but live for now. Now let your eye run this, 'cause I put it.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. From Emily's tonsils, Duke's torn rotator cuff, Annie's torn ligament, to Sherry's cancer treatments. That's why we've created our website, hcralabamablue.com, to help you understand the new healthcare reform requirements and how they may affect you. We invite you to sign up for updates and join in the conversation. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters.
With the new mobile deposit feature through the America's First banking app, depositing a check is easier than posting a latte pic. Just photograph the check, confirm the amount, and send. Best of all, mobile deposit is free at America's First Federal Credit Union.
We've all been to one of those places where they're just making it up as they go along, causing problems rather than fixing them, and charging an arm and a leg. Just ask Coach Bowden.
Hey, don't let that monkey touch my car.
For 64 years, Birmingham families have trusted the professionals at Tire Engineers for the best prices on tires and ASE certified service on their vehicles with no fine print or gimmicks.
Don't monkey around with your car. Go to Tire Engineers.
Visit one of our 7 area locations today.
The big time savings event this week at Limbaugh Toyota. Camry Special Luxury Edition package, only $18,888. Automatic and leather, no charge. Limbaugh Toyota, big time. $18,888. Camry Special Luxury Edition package, $18,888. With automatic and leather, no charge. Limbaugh Toyota, exit 120 off I-59 West.
Austin Hansard. I am a linebacker, number 44. I'm from Cumming, Georgia. I attended North Forsyth High School. Coach Taylor and Coach G both did a really good job of getting us ready. Coach Taylor coached at Sewanee and went to Sanford, and him and Coach G did a lot of work this offseason, getting prepared, and started working on Sewanee way back in this last spring and this summer. And we had a really good week of practice. Having a guy for the dive, a guy for the quarterback, a guy for the pitch, and everybody executed when we got out there in the field, and for the most part, worked pretty good for us. It's very big because when we get a tackle for loss, forces them into second and long, third and long, the defensive line can really apply some pressure, and we can force them into an obvious passing down, and that makes it a whole lot easier on our defense. Just like even facing a regular offense, and especially against the triple option, since they don't pass as much. But all those tackle for losses continue to add up, and they just help us every possession. The biggest part of getting turnovers is all momentum, just like with every other football team. When our offense goes to the sideline and we have to go back out, we get a quick turnover, they can come back out and take a shot and put points on the board, and it in turn helps us get the lead, expand the lead, and that also gets the defense's confidence up, getting turnovers and making plays. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do after. I'm a business major right now, and I kind of want to get into maybe sports management or something in that field. I'm not 100% sure, but Birmingham-Southern definitely prepares you for that. I think being a student athlete here is what prepares me the most. Time management, having to practice every day, having to work hard day in, day out. The classes are, as most people know, harder than a lot of colleges in this country, and I think they just do a great job of getting people prepared for life after college.
Welcome back to the BSC Football Review. Landry Roberts along with head coach Eddie Garfinkel. Coach, 21-2 coming out of halftime. Things seem to be in control, but quickly things changed there in the third quarter.
That's one thing that is really disappointing, and that's something that we work on. We talk about the crucial times of the game, and then that's one of them is the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, setting the tone. That's something that we talk to our players about at halftime, and told them that you're going to see more energy from the Swanee team, and that's what happened. And we just didn't respond very well, and so it's just, and that again, that's happened to us a couple times this year. So that's got to be corrected, and it wound up costing us the game this year.
Yeah, Swanee's defense stepped up and really slowed down that running attack that was so effective there in that first half.
Yeah, they and again, that's one thing with our offense, the way it's changed a little bit. They loaded up on the run, and we couldn't get the passing game going. And then we, had some crucial mistakes in the passing game and turnovers, which has been kind of the Achilles heel for us. And so it just kind of snowballed on us, and we've got to do a better job in the third quarter.
All right, well, Swanee comes out. They run that wing bone very effectively. Really, your offense didn't help itself out. 3 turnovers, 1 ends up in a pick 6, putting your defense in tough situations all second half.
Right. I thought, defensively we played good enough to win. We did some really good things. We were put in tough situations, especially in that third quarter where, we had a lot of 3 and outs. We had turnovers and kept us in the game. And then we just got wore out in the fourth quarter. They had no more gas on defense. And that's what that offense does to you. And give Swanee a lot of credit. Their coaches, their players came out ready to go, and they were determined, and we just didn't respond. And so we've got to do a better job with that.
Well, you fought a 1-1 in conference play. You have the off week. Last season, you had a 3-game skid, and during the off week, I know you and your coaching staff, you really used it as a time to evaluate your team and kind of get your edge back. Talk about that, and how do you plan to use this week's off week?
Right. Well, the big thing is we've got to get a lot of our guys that have been playing injured healthy, and so there's a lot of guys that probably won't even practice this week, and then which is going to give us an opportunity to look at some young guys and get them experience. A lot of those guys have played in 3 JV games, and we were kind of scrambling the first 3 weeks of preseason to get ready for LaGrange, and now we can kind of step back, and there's going to be a lot of young guys that we'll have a chance to work with to see can help us second part of the season.
All right, coming up next week right here at Panther Stadium, you have Millsaps coming in. It's a rematch of last year's Southern Athletic Association championship game. Millsaps putting up a lot of points this year, not unlike last year. That should be an exciting matchup here for the home crowd.
Right. We've coaches-wise, we've started looking at Millsaps somewhat, and really don't know that much about them right now. They've got a new quarterback, a new coordinator offensively, their same defense, and a lot of the same players. But we're more concerned about us and getting better, and we're trying to take it one at a time. And so this week we're going to work on Birmingham-Southern, and we'll start on Millsaps the next week.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this week, getting through the week, getting better, and I look forward to seeing you right here at Panther Stadium next Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Landry.
All right, the BSC football review continues right after this.
Lock the gate. Go find the fight.
Number 38, Boots over there. Come on. Stop by number 49.
Southeast Urgent Care, located in Fultondale, Alabama, is owned and operated by former BSC baseball player and alumnus Dr. Paul Roberts. Dr. Roberts is board certified in emergency medicine and has over 10 years' experience in the busiest emergency rooms in Alabama. Dr. Roberts and his staff are able to provide high-quality medical care in a state-of-the-art facility with digital x-ray and on-site lab testing. Southeast Urgent Care is able to provide the care you want at the time you need and with a friendly attitude that will make you feel like you're not just another patient.
With the new mobile deposit feature through the America's First banking app, depositing a check is easier than posting a latte pic. Just photograph the check, confirm the amount, and send. Best of all, mobile deposit is free at America's First Federal Credit Union.
There's a new team in town, Express Oil Change. And Tire Engineers have teamed up as Birmingham's premier automotive service centers. You've trusted Express Oil Change for over 30 years for the best mechanical service for your vehicles. And now we've joined with Tire Engineers to offer the best selection of name brand tires. Come see the new team at any of our convenient Birmingham locations today for the best service and tires for your vehicle. Performed by the professionals you trust. Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers.
I'm AJ Ford. I'm from Phoenix City, Alabama. I went to Central High School, number 18, and I play safety. We just came out to practice and we executed every practice. Otherwise, if we didn't do that, I don't think we would have been ready. My rule this game was to read my keys. That was a big thing in this game, and I mean that was pretty much my role. If that wing went that way, I went with that wing, and I was to fill a certain alley or hole, and that's what I was supposed to do. I chose Birmingham-Southern because it has wonderful people. All the people here are willing to help you. That was why I chose here versus anywhere else. If it's something that you really love and you really care for and that you just want to do during college, I recommend it. No matter where you go, you'll still, if you go D3, you'll have a better chance of playing if you go D1.
Welcome back to the BSC Football Review. Landry Roberts now being joined by Birmingham-Southern faculty liaison Dr. Jack Taylor. Dr. Taylor, the athletes here at Birmingham-Southern, they have so much work to do off the field. Talk about the assistance that you and some of the other staff members provide these athletes to keep these grades up here at such a high academic institution.
Well, the demands on their time on the football field is tremendous, but their demands in the classroom are even greater in many ways. And so it's a struggle to balance the academics and the athletics. They're students first and athletes second. We provide a great number of assistance areas for our student athletes. For example, our all freshman football players attend study hall for 3 nights a week. And there's tutoring services that are available to all of our students, including our student athletes, writing lab, math lab, academic support in just about any area that they might need it.
Well, right now it's time for our Panther Scholar Athlete of the Week, and this week it's junior offensive lineman Hayden Shelton.
A good example. He's a fine football player, but he's also an outstanding student. And that's an example of being able to balance academics and athletics. Psychology major. I believe he's planning on going to graduate school and doing some further work after Birmingham-Southern.
So your Panther Scholar Athlete of the Week is junior offensive lineman Hayden Shelton.
I'm Hayden Shelton. I'm from Luverne, Alabama. Went to Luverne High School, and I play left tackle on the offensive line. Well, we just know that we had to step it up. Losing Joe was a tough loss for all of us, and as the O-line, we just got to pick it up and try to help out our backs and let them know where the holes are going to be and just try to guide them along as best as we can. I knew I wanted to go to a smaller college just to have a closer relationship with my professors, with the smaller classrooms, and just academically I knew that it would be a good school to have on my resume, you know, looking for a job out in the work world, and or going to graduate school. I would just tell them that we got a great football program here, and academically it's one of the best. It's probably the best school in the state of Alabama. So definitely a good choice to come here if you want to play athletics and get a good college education.
Embrace your past, but live for now. Now put your arm on this, 'cause I put it.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. From Emily's tonsils, Duke's torn rotator cuff, Annie's torn ligament, to Sherry's cancer treatments. That's why we've created our website, hcralabamablue.com, to help you understand the new healthcare reform requirements and how they may affect you. We invite you to sign up for updates and join in the conversation. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters.
Back in 1958, Big Daddy John Bishop opened Dreamland Barbecue with his signature recipe for sauce and hickory fire grilled ribs. And that legendary taste and recipe have remained unchanged for over half a century. Dreamland now serves everything from ribs to pulled pork and chicken to sausage links and still uses that famous sauce. Come in as customers and leave as family at Dreamland. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere.
A large chunk of your energy bill comes from heating and cooling your home. One of the easiest ways to control these costs is with the programmable thermostat. They used to be a little pricey, but these days you can get one for as little as $50, which is not bad considering they can save you about $150 a year. So think about installing a programmable thermostat in your home. For more money-saving energy efficiency tips, visit alabamapower.com/tips.
Connor Shannon, I'm the defensive end. I'm from Charlottesville, Alabama. I went to Birmingham-Southern High School. I'm a junior. The game plan that Coach Taylor and Coach D devised, it was really just waiting. We pop our feet and wait for the pitch man or the dive, the fullback. Just waiting to see what happens, and I made a play from there. So just had to be patient. That was probably the toughest thing about it, just sitting there and letting the ball come to you. Which more times than not it came my way, so I was fortunate for that. I got to play with Cole and Andrew at the same time my freshman year, and then it was me and Andrew last year, and I got to start 8 out of 10 games with him, and it was a ball. Just knowing my older brothers were with me on the field at all times, it's pretty cool. I mean, in an economy like this, it's you want obviously when you put yourself in the best situation possible. Coming out, looking for jobs, and this is a great school. It's rigorous, tough classes, but it's a good degree. And if you want to, obviously as a student, you want to excel after college. With all the hard work that's required to be a student, then this is the place to be. And then for a student athlete, same thing. But adding on top of that, being an athlete. Makes it tough. It's much tougher than most schools having to balance both, but it sets you up for success. And Coach G always talks about that time in and time out. And he said you really appreciate it. Obviously, I'm not graduated yet, but he said you'll appreciate it once you're done. So that's pretty much all to say about that.
Welcome back to the BSC Football Review. Well, after a tough week on the road at Swanee, Birmingham-Southern falls to 1-1 in conference play. Coming up next week, they host the Millsaps Majors, a rematch of last year's championship game. Until next time, from everyone here at Birmingham-Southern College, I'm Landrum Roberts. So long, everybody. Brought to you by Pepsi, always refreshing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. When your health care is protected, you can focus on being you. The Greater Birmingham Convention and Visitors Bureau. Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. Express Oil Change and Service Center. Turn to us. America's First Federal Credit Union. Refreshingly unbanked life. Southeast Urgent Care at Fultondale. Providing healthcare needs for BSC athletes. Tire Engineers. If we don't take care of our customers, someone else will. St. Vincent Sports Medicine. Taking care of the healthcare needs of BSC athletics. Alabama Power. Always on. And by Limbaugh Toyota, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.